Hello everyone, welcome to Lit Minds Lab. First of all, before starting the video, let me introduce myself. I'm Nisha and I've completed my English literature studies, and I'm currently a postgraduate in the same subject. So, uh, being at my present state, I hope so I can clear most of all the doubts regarding literature studies for all the students who are currently struggling with the subject. So don't skip away the video. I will be with you and I'll be here to clear all your doubts and bring good grades in your academics. So stay tuned. Let's jump into the video. Today we are going to learn about the history of English literature. So how it all started. We all are familiar about the period Anglo-Saxon period, or it is also known as Old English period. Okay, so who are they? Who are Anglos and Saxons? Let's have a check. They are a group of Germanic tribes. Began their migration to England in the 5th century. So as the Roman Empire collapsed, they migrated to England during the 5th century. Okay, so they arrived on the shores of Britain, which was then part of the Roman Empire. Okay, but as the Roman Empire collapsed, as I said earlier, it the Roman influence also disappeared, and the Anglo-Saxons established their kingdoms, shaping the foundations of early medieval England. These migrants, Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, so they brought variety of cultures because their cultures were really distinct, their languages and their societal structures too. The Anglo-Saxon period witnessed the rise of several powerful kingdoms that included Wessex, Mercia, and Northumbria. Each had its own dominance in the land of England. Their arrival had marked the blending of Germanic tradition with existing Celtic and Roman influences, creating a unique Anglo-Saxon identity. So these uh, Celtic and Germanic tradition, no, Celtic Roman influences were all there, hiding in the land of England. They all got blended with the Germanic traditions that the Anglo-Saxon and Jews brought. Yeah. So the conversion to Christianity by the missionaries like Augustine of Canterbury in the 7th century played a main role in shaping their cultural and religious landscape. So the religious and cultural landscape, that is the foundation of Christianity, was was converted by the Augustine of Canterbury. He was one of the most eminent missionaries that had arrived in the land of England. So this is what Anglo-Saxons are. Now let us look through what all kingdoms were established during the period. The Germanic tribes created their own kingdom and they settled in Britain with their own power. So their kingdoms were named as follows. Wessex, which is in the southwest, eventually it became the dominant kingdom under King Alfred the Great. So it played a pivotal role in repelling Viking invasions and later formed the nucleus of a unified England. So later on, the England was unified, as you can see right now. The England is unified. There is no seven kingdoms as there were in the Old English period. Uh, so they were known for their military strength. So As a result, they played a pivotal role in creating a strong England. Now the next we have is Sussex. Sussex is in the south, had a coastal location and engaged in trade and maritime activities. So Sussex was playing a very good role as it helped in trade and maritime activities because they were a coastal region. Okay? They were included in the coastal region. It experienced a blend of Anglo-Saxon and Jutish influences because as you can see the trade is such a thing that helps everyone to connect, isn't it? So even though England had seven kingdoms uh, divided by each and every divided by each cultural differences, isn't it? But these all cultures have to be mingling with each other during trade. Yeah. So Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, they they all got blended in the land of Sussex because they have to get blended, isn't it? So now the next we have is Essex. Essex is in the southeast. It was an early Anglo-Saxon kingdom. Now it is not so dominant as we hear about Northumbria or Wessex. It played a role in the spread of Christianity with the conversion of its king and contributed to the broader cultural development of the region. So Essex is in the southeast part of England, and it is an old Anglo-Saxon kingdom. It helped in spreading Christianity. Okay, so that is that was the role initially played by Essex. And the next we have is Northumbria. As we have talked about Essex, Northumbria was also famous for its religious contributions and intellectual persons. The monasteries of Lindisfarne and Jarrow became centers of learning and produced notable scholars like Bede. Northumbria was also a battleground against Viking invasions. So even though they were the intellectual land, they were it was the intellectual land in England because there the major monasteries were there. It also became the battleground for fighting against Vikings. Then the next we have is Mercia. It is situated in the Midlands, was one of the largest and most powerful kingdoms. It played a key role in trade and diplomacy and had a significant impact on the development of English law. Mercia's rulers like Offa sought to establish a centralized authority over the other kingdoms. So we can see that Mercia is in the Midlands and it was one of the most powerful kingdoms among Heptarchy. They were the key role in trade and diplomacy and also had an impact in the development of English law. So English law was also developed in Mercia. Now the next we have is East Anglia. It is located in the east of England and it had a strong maritime connection and engaged in trade with continental Europe. So England connected with Europe through trade was possible through East Anglia. As the name prefers, as the name says out loud that it is located in the east part. Okay, so it's easy to remember. Now the next one is Kent. Kent is the southeastern kingdom, was one of the earliest Anglo-Saxon settlements. It was a center for early Christian activity and played a significant role in the conversion of the Anglo-Saxons to Christianity. So, what all we can understand from this? The birth of Christianity was was happening during the period of heptarchy. Yeah, most of the mm most of the kingdoms were the main were playing the main role to spread Christianity among the Anglo-Saxons and the indigenous people who lived there. That is the main thing that they did. So I hope so you will go through the notes that I have provided here, so you can have a look through it. Okay. Now we are going to next topic. The Vikings were seafaring Norse people who invaded parts of Europe, including England, from the late 8th to early 11th centuries. Driven by a quest for wealth and new lands, they raided coastal areas, monasteries, and towns. Their longships allowed swift attacks, creating fear and influencing local politics. While initially invaders, Vikings eventually settled in some areas, contributing to cultural exchanges and shaping the medieval world. But Alfred the Great, a king in the 9th century, the king of Wessex, defended England from Viking invasions. He built forts, organized a strong army, and cleverly used guerrilla tactics. Alfred also negotiated with Vikings, creating a time of peace called the Danelaw. His leadership and strategies helped protect England and lay the foundation for a united kingdom. He is greatly credited with initiating the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, a historic record of events in England, and that is the only evidence that we have when we talk about Old English period. So, absolutely, there was a decline of Anglo-Saxons and the rise of Norman conquest because the Anglo-Saxons who were ruling England faced problems and fighting among themselves. In 1066, a guy named William from Normandy, he was from France, invaded and won a big battle called Hastings, a Battle of Hastings. This, even known as the Norman Conquest, changed England a lot. The Normans introduced new ways of doing things and brought their language. They built castles and fancy buildings. This conquest had a big impact on how England was run and even changed the way people spoke. So basically, the Normans took over. The things in England became quite different after that. So there was a rise of Norman conquest as a result. So that's it. That's for today. The continuation will be done on my next video. There you will find the major literary works that were found during the Old English period or the Anglo-Saxon era. So I hope so you will catch up on my next video with me. If you like my video, if you find my video useful, please do like and share and subscribe. I don't have to tell it again and again. If you find it useful, then please do it. Because if you want my videos again and again into your feeds, then you have to do it, isn't it? Okay then. So until then, until we meet the next time, it's a bye bye from me. Take care.